I'm Melody. Welcome to Myanmar Today Review, and this is where we visit the top stories for this week from Myanmar Today. Here are the reports from our reporters from this week. David Tanner has all the details on Model ASEAN simulation. Dora Swizin got the latest report on the 2019 Union Tax Law presentation event by Commerce Graduates Association. Vietnam and Yen 9 has the story on how Kayin youths should be duty-bound to organizing commemoration of Kayin National New Year Festival. Akajo got all the details on over 2.5 million tons rice export target in 2020. Willison got the story on the 14th conference of MHAA. Before we get to the reports, let's take a look at the featured local news from this week. The following is a 2020 New Year message from President U Myint. Quote, "May you all enjoy the best of health and peace of mind on the auspicious day of the New Year 2020. Our union government has been working strenuously with the collective strength of the people by laying down firm noble goals and programs for sustainable peace, prosperity, and development for a happy and prosperous life of the citizens. We have been making unrelenting efforts for the emergence of the Federal Democratic Union Constitution that guarantees equal rights, peace, and development, which have been yearned for so many years by all ethnic national citizens. I believe that we can successfully overcome the hardships and challenges that the country is facing today due to certain circumstances by sticking to truth, justice, and honesty and transparency." End quote. Union Minister for Information Dr. Pei Mien gave awards to the winners at the photo and postcard contest organized by the Information and Public Relations Department under the title of Value of State, Prestige of Nationality. The award-giving ceremony at the Pan Pacific Hotel in Yangon on Wednesday was also attended by Yangon Region's government's Rakhine Ethnic Affairs Minister, Uzo Emao, departmental heads and officials, representatives from organizations and associations, award winners, and invited guests. In delivering a speech, Union Minister Dr. Pei Mien said that the Ministry of Information is organizing photo and postcard contests annually to mark the Independence Day and the 72nd anniversary, which will fall on the 4th of January this year. The event was aimed to convey messages through photos and postcards on distinguished historical traditions of the country, cultural heritages, and customary practices of each nationality, unveiling unity, peace, and tranquility, historic sites, natural beauties, happiness, and freedom in the country. A total of 181 professional and amateur photographers joined the photo contest with their 735 pictures, and 23 contestants with 224 postcards in the competition for 8 awards, each in the 2 contests. Over 600 local and foreign artists and sculptors will gather in Bagan to exhibit their works from the 7th to the 11th of January at the Bagan Archaeological Museum, honoring the World Heritage Bagan, organized by Myanmar Artists and Sculpture Asia 1 Central and the Ministry of Religious Affairs and Culture. Art Expo Bagan 2020 will showcase works of 620 artists, including those from 20 countries. During the 5-day Art Expo, an online art trading platform will be introduced, and veteran artists will also demonstrate the basic steps for painting and sculpturing. And that's all with the local news. This is Myanmar Today Review, broadcasting from Myanmar International Radio. On FM, make sure you catch us on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. You can also download MI Radio app on both iOS and Android devices for your own convenience. And I believe it's time now for our first report. Model ASEAN Simulation, which is a simulation for students to engage a role play after the actual regional level ASEAN Summit, has been organized by Myanmar EU Share Alumni Network at the Art Hall of the Yangon University on the 29th December of 2019. Reporter David Tanner got the details of the simulation.
Model ASEAN Simulation is a kind of simulation for students which allows the students to engage in the role play, which is modeled after the actual regional level summits and involves discussions and decision-making processes to address a particular regional issue. With that said, Myanmar Tanda, who is one of the officers for the PR team of MHAA, told MI Radio about the detail of the event.
This team realized we have been to other foreign countries for one semester as an 18 student. Like for me, I went to Vietnam and studied at Ho Chi Minh University of Technology and Education with a shared scholarship. And this scholarship is EU provided there a lot of support, and we students from ASEAN country go to other ASEAN countries as an 18 student. So last month ago, we came back here, but we want to give something back to the students in Myanmar, like our experience or like our how is the education system is like in other country. So we would like to organize this simulation, and this simulation is called Model ASEAN Simulation. Normally, it focuses on 3 parts, but for this, we are close with the education system, so we choose the topic is for the education.
The simulation has been focused on education reforms of the ASEAN nations, which is a crucial cornerstone for the achievement of ASEAN's ambition. One vision, one identity, one community. Myanmar Tanda added on more about this.
Okay, there will be the representatives for each country. There will be 4 representatives, but in the simulation, we will call only 3 representatives, like head of government, senior officials, and ministers of education. In the simulation, each country will represent what's their issues in their country and what we can do for that and what we can do for other countries. First of all, you will know how this simulation celebrates, and each year there will be 2 summits, and in the simulation we place Myanmar as a chair country for 2019, and you will know how the education is like in other countries, and you will know the issues, and in here the representatives will have to think the resolutions.
Ma Alinu, chairperson of Myanmar EU Share Alumni Network, also explains MI Radio for what Myanmar EU Share Alumni Network MHAA is and how it was formed.
Actually, this alumni association is organized, we got a support from European Union, and that European Union support higher education in ASEAN region. So they assign us to make some activities and events that is relating with ASEAN stuff, and also we have some objectives, like we want to get a standardized education in these ASEAN countries, and so we're thinking of some events which is related with this education stuff and also this ASEAN related issues. So we kind of think about this model ASEAN meeting for that. It is really important because we're living in this ASEAN community. So I want everyone to aware that some are developing countries and also some are already developed countries. So for this, some of the ASEAN countries are still developing. So I want to the youths are the future. So maybe they can start a point for this ASEAN related issues or something. So I'm probably thinking okay, they will get something from this kind of event.
Regarding with the EU Share scholarships, Ma Alinu also motivated the students in each respective university to try apply the EU Share scholarship.
MHAA, Myanmar EU Share Alumni Network, we are a composition of 4 universities in this country, Mandalay University, Yangon University of Economics, and Myanmar Maritime University. But every student from those universities to apply the scholarship, and because as you have been to a university and if you haven't experienced anything about foreign stuff, so maybe after applying for the scholarship, maybe they can gain some knowledges about, and maybe they can expand their network as well. And also we're about to hold more events in this year, so I want them to join.
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's the report on Model ASEAN simulation. Commerce Graduates Association Myanmar hosted its regular discussion for the auditors and accountants. For the discussion held on the 29th of December, the topic was the 2019 Union Tax Law, which has come into effect on the 1st of October last year. Commerce Graduates Association Myanmar CGA has hosted the talk on the 2019 Union Tax Law presentation on 29 December at the Training School of Office of the Auditor General of the Union. Dong Mimimu, Deputy Director of Large Taxpayers Office LTO, has delivered the presentation about the 2019 Union Tax Law, which was approved by Bidangsu Ludo and which came into effect on 1st October of 2019.
Commerce Graduate Association ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တစ်နှစ်မှာ12ကြိမ်အနည်းဆုံး
Our Commerce Graduates Association hosts at least 12 discussions in a year for continuous professional development CBD. This is to increase the license period of the auditors and accountants by collecting the learning hours. So we have 4 hours per discussion with knowledgeable topics. So we organize the CPD discussions every month, and the topic of this month is 2019 Union Tax Law. This year is a fiscal year of 6-month budget, which starts from 2019 April to 2019 September. Today, we are to present the details about 2019 Union Tax Law.
ဒီတစ်ပတ်မှာတော့ဆရာတို့2019အခွန်အကောက်ဥပဒေနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ကျင်းပတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
The Union Tax Law was enacted since 2014, and it's enacted annually because of possible changes. The 2019 Union Tax Law includes 10 chapters, and I am to talk about the changes made in 8 chapters, including the newly introduced Gemstones Tax Law. As the taxpayers, it needs to be updated with the yearly enacted Union Tax Law to get the correct tax calculation. And we always motivate the taxpayers for the regular payment to earn the full tax for the country. The return period is also done soon. We have announced publicly to pay the tax or send notice respectively.
As one of the respected changes, gemstone was dismissed as special commodity and the specific gemstone tax law was added.
If we want to make changes in the Union Tax Law, we have to submit it to the Bidangsu Ludo, and the Ludo decides to approve the Union Tax Law. So we listen to the difficulties of the taxpayers as well as the necessary changes. We put it in a draft bill and submit it to the Bidangsu Ludo.
This is the tax return period, so that it is important to know how to calculate the tax to pay. There are various types of tax, such as commercial tax, income tax, and many other kinds. You should know how to calculate the respective tax. Our government has allowed the privatization more, so the budget depends on the tax. All the taxes ought to be used for the country and the citizens. That's why it is important to pay the tax without fail.
Tax plays an important role in building a developed country, and all the citizens need to be the regular taxpayers. That's all for now. This is Dora Switson from MI Radio. That's the report on the 2019 Union Text Law presentation event by Commerce Graduates Association. Kayin ethnics in all parts of the country commemorated the 82nd anniversary of Kayin National New Year Festival through collaborative venture. The similar event was also held on a grand scale in Insein Township in Yangon region from the 25th to the 27th of December. The 3-day-long Kayin National New Year Festival was teeming with Korean youths putting on Kayin traditional costumes and colorful Kayin traditional clothing designs, attractive personal ornaments, and cuisines of different national races attracted the attention of all comers. Vietnam ANN reports.
Kayin ethnics in all parts of the country commemorated the 82nd anniversary of Kayin National New Year Festival through collaborative venture. The similar event was also held on a grand scale in Insein Township in Yangon region from 25th to 27th of December. The 3-day-long Kayin National New Year Festival was teeming with Kayin youths putting on Kayin national costumes and colorful Kayin traditional clothing designs, attractive personal ornaments, and cuisines of different national races attracted the attention of all comers. Mang Po-so, patron of organizing committee for Kayin National New Year Festival, said,
Kayin elderly person of a long time managed to grasp the rare opportunity of commemorating Kayin New Year Festival in an official manner. All of us, including Kayin youth of today, must preserve a tradition of commemorating Kayin New Year Festival annually so that the event will be as long as the world exists. We must have the courage of our conviction that we continue preserving the rare chance of commemorating Kayin New Year Festival. All remaining national races must work together for the development of Myanmar. I would like to urge Kayin youth to work together in developing the state through good vision in a wise manner, forgetting old grudge.
The youth visiting Kayin New Year Festival can observe utensils used by Kayin elderly persons of a long time and the photos of eminent persons and the leaders whom Kayin ethnic respect and admire display at the culture board of the festival. Uso Onshui, spokesperson of organizing committee for Kayin National New Year Festival, also said,
The festival is aimed at revealing all nationalistic characters essential for Kayin ethnics and showing nationalist spirit, solidarity, and leadership, as well as promoting traditional cultures on the occasion of Kayin National New Year Festival. We must take our children to all our communities and show our nationalist characters. We must guide the children to realize nationalistic characters in order to be present as long as the world exists. They must be interested in our traditional cultural dances such as Dongyen, Wanya, and Watao. If they value and preserve these traditional cultures, their spirit will be higher and they will have unity. They must have consolidation. If our preservation gains speed, Kayin national character will stand longer, not only in Myanmar community, but also in the international one. I would like to urge the youths to cooperate in the commemorative events.
Kayin National New Year Festival held in Insein Township featured traditional songs, dawn folks, dance of Kayin, traditional boxing challenges. Apart from Kayin ethnic from all parts of the country, the Japanese boxing enthusiasts participated in the traditional boxing challenges. Kayin ethnic have also been preserving good traditions of culture, tradition, fine arts, and historic heritages since the time of their ancestors. They are the ethnics who are perfect for good qualities such as honesty, hard work, faithfulness, and precise determination, revealed in the message sent by State Councillor Da Aung San Suu Kyi to Kayin National New Year Festival, which falls on 25th of December.
That's the report on how Kayin youth should be duty-bound to organizing commemoration of Kayin National New Year Festival. This is Myanmar Today Review, broadcasting from Myanmar International Radio. You can visit our website at miradio.com.mn. You can also listen to our radio programs live on the website. Shareholders joined the annual plenary meeting of the Myanmar Agribusiness Public Corporation Limited at UMFCCI on Saturday. MHAA announced its strategy to boost the next year rice export. Shareholders actively participated with keen interest in the plan to boost the quality and export despite the recent struggle in border trade. For more on the strategy and the export target for 2020, Akajo has the details.
MHAA, Chairman of Myanmar Rice Federation and Managing Director of MAPCO, said that in 2020, over 2.5 million tons of rice are expected to be exported. This was learned at the annual plenary meeting of Myanmar Agribusiness Public Corporation Limited, MAPCO, at UMFCCI. Over the past years, Myanmar suffered a decline in border trade, which also impacts rice export. Over the past 2 years, Myanmar could export only about 2 million tons of rice per year. Therefore, the rice businesses are cautious with its next year export target. MAPCO on Saturday rolled out its plan for 2020. MHAA, Managing Director of MAPCO, said,
We are prioritizing to increase export volume. In 2018 and 2019, the border trade saw a sharp drop. It's not a complete stop, but it dropped significantly. For example, the trade dropped from then 4,000 tons to 1,000 tons now. The declining border trade leads to drop in rice price. It's dropped to the extent that the government has to intervene to help maintain the market. So for the paddy season, we have put forward plans to the government. So we are planning to boost the export volume. Currently, more than 2 million tons of rice are being exported these years. Also for the coming 2019 to 2020 fiscal year, we expect to export around 2.5 million tons.
Rice exports saw struggle as competitions become tougher and quality drops. The export volume took a dive in 2016-2017 and 2017 and 2018 fiscal years. After careful quality control measure, the rice export increased in 2018 and 2019 fiscal year.
Now we are focusing on rice production, but we are not starting to shift on maize and other high-value crops like grape in collaboration with Israel. It's also noted that Singapore and China will be running an industrial zone which include agri-food zones in Myanmar. There are very few industrial zones in Myanmar which can be called agri-food zones.
With the better quality, the demand for the export of broken rice also increased. As short-term operation plan in 2020, about 15,000 million tons are expected to be yielded per month. U Aung Mien, Executive Director of MAPCO, said,
Africa is a regular buyer of our rice. They prefer our rice because Myanmar rice is a bit lower in price than rice from Thai and Vietnam. Back in 2017 to 2018, we got a Sri Lanka market. But in 2018 to 2019, the market went down a bit. Now Sri Lanka market is discussing the offers again. So we are hopeful that we will be able to export to Sri Lanka soon. This is the new potential.
Myanmar's rice export hit the record high with 3 million tons during the previous year. According to Myanmar Rice Federation, the country has set a target of $1 billion revenue from rice export sector in 3 years. Despite many foreign direct investments coming in, only a few invest in the agricultural sector. MAPCO has joined UN Global Compact initiatives in order to implement and commit the best practices related to anti-corruption, human rights, labor, and environment. By incorporating the Global Compact principles into MAPCO's corporate strategies, policies, and procedures, and establishing a culture of integrity, MAPCO is intended to uphold the basic responsibilities to people and planet. Everyone at MAPCO is committed to practice the 10 principles of UN Global Compact.
This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's the report on the 14th conference of MHAA. The 14th Conference of Myanmar Health Assistant Association was held on 28 December at University of Nursing in Yangon with the aim to strengthen the association. This association mainly works in providing healthcare service to the remote areas where the public have very little access to healthcare services. Willison will tell us the full report.
Myanmar Health Assistant Association is an organization formed with the collaboration of the Ministry of Health and Sports, together with several other partners, with the aim to provide healthcare service to some of the hard-to-reach areas across Myanmar. This association has over 500 staff, 13 projects in 89 townships of 10 states and regions. It mainly provides healthcare service to remote areas where the public have very little access to healthcare service, with a budget of more than 10 billion kyats. One of the important projects for the year 2019 is the association was able to provide healthcare service to children under the age of 5, numbering more than 1,400, along with more than 300 pregnant women. But MHAA now faces one of the hardest challenges in northern Rakhine, where 285 children from the age of 59 months and 6 years old face severe malnutrition, and the situation is getting worse day by day. Therefore, the association has to accelerate its healthcare service to these areas voluntarily. The 14th Conference of Myanmar Healthcare Assistants Association was held on 28th of December at University of Nursing in Yangon, and speaking at the 14th Conference of MHAA, Dr. Myen Twe, Union Minister for the Ministry of Health and Sports, said,
In order to provide the best service to the public, we cannot just write down on the papers or only speak about it. We must be practical and active with our goal and target. Then only we provide effective and useful healthcare service to the public. This is the time we must be practical, which is why whenever I give a speech, I make sure that most of what I speak are what really is going in outside. If we are to carefully provide healthcare service to the public, then we can prevent some of the major diseases in Myanmar, which are very much common among the patients in Myanmar. Most of the diseases which occur to the patients in our nation are mostly preventable, and if we carry out all the projects carefully, then I am sure we can prevent big number of sicknesses in our nation.
Speaking to the media on the future plan of MHAA, Umya Twin, the chairman of MHAA, also explains.
With the collaboration of the Ministry of Health and Sports and MHAA, we are working on bringing up the volunteers where there is so much of population density. These volunteers are helping the public by spreading the awareness on the symptoms of diseases. At the same time, these volunteers also provide free medical checkup and free healthcare service in these areas. In some areas, we even provide transportation fare for the comers so that they can come for medical checkup. We know that the earlier we diagnose the disease, the higher percentage of complete cure we have, or if not, effective medical treatment.
This conference is where all the members from all over Myanmar have a chance to discuss the challenges they face while serving the public. MHAA is a representative of Batin Township for MHAA, and speaking to MI Radio on the challenge he faces while serving, he said,
For MHAA to be able to provide healthcare service to the public effectively, we need to be a strong and resourceful association where there is unity, and therefore I believe that this association needs to talk about stronger policy making. rules and regulations for the proper establishment of the association.
That's the report on the 14th conference of MHAA. That's all with the news and reports on Myanmar Today Review. Tune in every Saturday on MITV at 8:30 p.m. for Myanmar Today Review. Until next time.